tweet?
I didn't tweet. I totally did not. My laptop, which I usually tweet from, because it's where I have like the image file, is in my car, and I was like, I don't feel like running back out there. I took a shower instead. So instead of tweeting, I took a shower because, I like to be clean. Hi everybody, how we all doing? Rena's like, why am I here?
I'm here to have fun.
Woo-wee! All
Sorry,
right.
I'm more hype.
No, it's all good. I'm really excited to be playing tonight. So listen, everybody, before we jump into session 3, I have to remind you of what happens starting session 3.
Daddies.
We open up the daddies. Now,
Daddy.
It sounds so dirty. I just picture somebody pulling butt cheeks apart, like.
never mind.
Really
Never mind.
nice.
Never mind.
Yes.
Game canceled. Never mind.
Good one.
Anyways, no. So we open up the daddies starting today, which is pretty exciting because that first of all the API is not working, so we get to have a pretty little GIF or whatever. But as a reminder for what it works is there's the Twitch chat pool of luck. Until I get the API working, I'll tell you guys how many are inside your pool of luck. Otherwise, the only way you know is by spending and seeing what the remaining amount is. So what's wicked cool about the daddies is that anytime you roll a d20, you can choose. Sorry, I said Twitch chat pool of luck. Anytime you roll a d20, you can choose to use one of the pool of luck, which adds a d4 to your roll. Any d20 roll, skill check, ability check, saving throw, attack roll, whatever you can think of with a d20. Okay, so that's one of the cool things. We also have something called Daddy Sack of Dice. And that's something that when it comes in, it's anytime you roll a d20 and you don't choose to modify it, I can choose to modify it with a d4 the other direction. So that's cool there. What also starts going with this one is all the other fun stuff. The curse that can happen, which is just minor fumbles, little like boons they can give you in combat, bringing your character back from being on the brink, all sorts of fun things like that they can do. And then of course there is the ultimate Fortune's Favor, which is just something epic happens in the moment, something incredible happens all at once. And then there's the Trump card, which is specifically designed to just ruin your day. When the Trump card comes in, it's just terrible. So,
I'm watching you, Steve.
Steve actually explicitly said that he doesn't drop Trump cards in right away. He wants to make sure you get established enough. So either A, you have a chance of defeating it, or B, people actually care when you die. So,
Thanks, Steve.
It's
glad you
also,
understand.
he also wants something story-wise that he's like, ooh, this would be a good moment. This'll happen if I throw a Trump card.
yeah, he's really good at timing them to really impact the story in a very meaningful way. So yeah, just keep an eye on Steve. But either way, what's up, everybody? Let's go reminding what happened. One more announcement. I'm so sorry. Then we're going to jump into the game. We announced earlier this week over on the Discord, the link's down below, that we're now going to be having an Aurorum community game that's going to be taking place at 10 p.m. EST on Tuesday nights. Anybody that is an active member of the community and a Twitch subscriber is welcome to sign up to be a part of the game. It's going to be DM'd by Unfunny One, who's a huge member of the community, and PC'd by me as the standard, always there every session PC. The other 3 PCs will switch out from different community members, so on and so forth. So just sign up, because when you sign up for a story, you're there for like 2 to 3 sessions, and then we kind of rotate out who's playing with us to keep it going in a very West Marches style. All right, I can't give away any more information than that because I don't really know the plot, but I do know a couple of minor arcs. I can't say anything else because that's Josh's story to tell. Otherwise, if you're not a member of the community, please join in, become a sub, ask Josh to throw you a link. You'll be able to jump onto the link. He'll give you a character sheet. Have fun. It's 5e. All right, let's go. Messy, would you like to remind us what happened last session?
No.
Messy, would you like to remind us what happened last session? Should I remind you?
Yes.
Okay. We'll do it this way. Hold on. Here we go.
I don't remember the
Hold
beginning.
on,
I just
I
remember
had
the big
to
fight,
see-
and I don't want to start there.
This is what happened last week. We at the end of the session, so it started off with this region being a place where Tyler had hunted down a couple of what are they called? The scouts for three scouts for the military. He ended up killing them, even if it was a rough fight. He ended up winning, killing them, posing their dead bodies in such a way that it looked like they died almost accidentally, or whatever the case may be. Then you guys found out that the commander was coming, which way they're coming, that they were going to swing in through the camp first. You chose to go to the camp and use that as the point of attack, which actually worked out well, because if he had come to the camp first and you guys weren't waiting for him here and he saw what was going on, he would have been on high alert. coming into the town. So you actually stopped that whole situation from happening, which was actually pretty cool. Whoever's idea it was, I think it was Messy. It was pretty cool. So, anyways, you go there, you end up fighting them, and burn down the entire place, just barely surviving.
We didn't burn it down. Just clarification.
We burned it down.
That was not our fault.
There was a fire. Whoever started the fire, we won't blame anybody, Messy. But what I do know...
It's the dead guy.
What I do know is that Rena helped Yondis to safety. She rushed to help Yondis get to safety. And
Very heroic.
And he totally left her to burn.
Yeah,
So
also heroic. Also heroically left behind.
Ophios waited so Rena could hand him the body after he climbed out, so that Rena could easily get out before she helped Yondis.
yeah, because somebody here's a nice person. You know what I mean? Oy. All right. So, anyways, let's done with the chitter chatter. Let's jump into the game. We're all excited to play. So, literally, with the last session, the way it literally just ended was that you guys had run away from the fire. You jumped out of the trees, just barely got it, ran away from the fire, grabbed the commander's body, and were dragging it with you. You don't think he's alive, but you're dragging it with you just in case. You had handed a chest by some ghostly like figure that blew away in the wind. The chest opened up into a large chest with a bunch of stuff inside. Said, "Screw it," closed the chest and ran. We're gonna pick it up with about an hour later on in game. You're running for about an hour to get away from here, to get to safety in case there are other troops behind that one that you weren't aware of. To make sure you can get to somewhere where you're not going to be anywhere around where the fire was. Make sure that everything's going to be safe. You're finally out of breath, having run that whole hour. Poor Yondis is just exhausted, just eyes barely staying open, just stinging, burning with the bright sun and the sweat in his eyes. And you guys can finally collapse.
And the blood, I'm covered in blood.
And you guys finally collapse and just take a moment to think about everything that had just transpired. Who does what in this moment? I don't know who wants to act first. If it's Rena, Tyler.
I mean, Ophios would set the body down and in pure exhaustion would still try and look over the body, trying to figure out what the see if the person is who he thinks he is, and check for anything useful on him at the same time. Any information, anything of use, weaponry, armor, stuff like that.
Awesome. So we're looking over the body. Roll me an investigation check, or if you don't care, just take a 20.
I'd take a 20.
Okay, cool. So your character immediately, once you get there, you're out of breath. I mean, some fact of the matter is you're out of breath. It was a hard run. But while you're out of breath, everybody just seems like you kind of look about the rest of the rest of the crowd. You have Yondis, who probably just immediately goes over to a tree and, like, I imagine, like, throws his back against a tree and just like, you have Rena, who's probably like you know, holding side or knee and just also trying to catch the breath. You look around, you see that everybody looks like they're happy for stopping for now. You immediately jump on the opportunity to, like, just kind of like drop down to your knee. You're out of breath and start searching over the body as thoroughly as you can. Because that's going to take a couple minutes. I'll pan the camera over to Rena.
Yeah, I think I catch my breath a little bit, and I notice Ophios just kind of looking over the body before I was going to ask about it, but I'm just going to let him do his thing. So kind of turn my focus away. And I'm thinking, and I look over at Yondis, kind of glare a little bit, and then I think I'm going to go over there. I think I'm going to go over there and, talk to Yondis.
Okay. So you walk over to Yondis.
When she starts getting close in the cloudy vision, my dehydrated eyes can make out a figure. I'm just like, are we stopping here?
I think I'm not gonna respond. I think I'm gonna walk right up to him and just deck him in the face.
You take to
Just
make,
straight up, just punch him.
would you like to make an attack roll?
Yeah.
Before you do so, Messy, roll me an insight check. With disadvantage, don't forget you're tired.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir. Disadvantage is already checked. That's great. Insight.
Oh, Jesus.
7.
You have no idea it's coming. And since it catches you off guard, Rena, you have advantage on your attack roll. You can roll with any weapon.
Okay. So what do I...
Any weapon. Doesn't matter.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Because they're all the same attack modifier.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, but you can press greatsword. It's the same attack modifier as punching. It's just a matter of chance to hit.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yep. Yeah, that beats his AC. So, Rena, you walk up to him, and it's just a full-on slug to the side of the face. It hits him, that perfect shot right in the tip of the chin, where you just see his head goes out sideways, his legs buckle out underneath him, and just, he's out cold. Sorry, miss. You had 1 health point left. She has a strength modifier. You just unconscious.
I did my duty, sir.
That's it. I just had to get
Okay.
At the sound of that, Ophius would look up.
Come up, that Ophius.
He would go. He would just kind of smirk and then go back to what he was doing. Just kind of look over, smirk, kind of smile and grin at Rena and go back to what he was doing.
Awesome. So he's just slumped down, knocked down on the ground. You're probably, imagine, frustrated. Are your frustrations at least a little bit alleviated? Yes, Messi?
Does this count as a long rest?
Can that please count as a long rest? That's funny. I feel bad.
Not yet.
Let's
You
see
have to
what
wake
they
up
do.
first.
Yeah, let's see what they do.
Okay, all right.
Oh, that's awesome. So, Rena, is there anything else you want to do, or you just kind of like catch your breath and allow time to pass while he's looking over the body?
If he's not done looking over the body yet, then I'll just kind of go and sit somewhere.
Sure.
And catch my breath.
Awesome. Probably eat like a little snack or some shit like that. Not a problem. So you go do that, and then you're looking over the body. Obviously, you take a 20. What's your modifier in investigation? Just curious.
In investigation, it's a +1.
Awesome. So with a +1, that means that you have a 21 total because you took the 20. Excuse me. And with the 20 total, you're looking over the body. You do find stuff of value on the person. First and foremost, I'd like to point out, unfortunately, all of the information you've been given every step of the way since that first mission you did, where you finally fucking got one, has been wrong. And all the arrows have been pointing towards this one. You finally got one. You're going to hunt him down. You're going to catch him. You finally got one. Except the information's wrong again.
Ophius would take his dagger and just start stabbing the body out of frustration, just pure anger. Wrong. Yep.
Hey, no, I was supposed to do that.
I was gonna say.
Rena, does your character react at all when you see him just like randomly stabbing, like just angrily stabbing this thing a bunch of times in the chest?
I probably will be a little bit startled and look over and then take that as okay, so we didn't really get what we set out to get, did we? But I won't interfere. That's all him.
So you're a lot of frustration going through that. On the bright side, the gentleman is actually still wearing some decent clothing. Like I said beforehand, he was wearing quality armor. You know what I mean? He happens to be wearing this, he happens to be wearing breastplate for his actual armor. So he had quality AC, which is one of the reasons why he was so difficult to fight that whole time.
What kind of breastplate?
Just breastplate. It's made out of steel.
Okay.
Yep. So he's wearing breastplate for armor. The quality of his sword is actually a well-crafted sword, as you imagine, because of somebody of their position. So he actually has a well-crafted. It was what was he using the whole time? Was it a longsword, I believe?
He was dual wielding, so I don't remember what he.
Oh, that's right. He had a saber. He had like a saber in one of his hands, and then a dagger in his other hand. That's right. That's right.
I'd have to. I can't see that because you rolled those attacks. So
No, you're fine. So it was a well-crafted saber in one hand, and then it was a dagger in his other hand. The dagger is, again, it's well-crafted as well. I believe beforehand I described this dagger as being like a parrying dagger. It's one of those things where not only is it well-crafted, it's actually like you can tell that the dagger in the hands of somebody who knows how to use it could actually be used as like almost like a defensive weapon.
Okay.
And that is it that you find for like weapons and armor. As for on the rest of his person, you do find a sack full of coin. You actually find a solid 70 gold coin on him.
All right.
And I can't. Let me just double check something on your character sheet really quickly. Before I say anything else. And do you cast Detect Magic as well?
Yep, he would.
Okay. And when you cast Detect Magic, one of the things that you're going to notice is he actually has a magical pendant on him.
Okay. What do I need to roll to see if I know what it is?
That's an Arcana check, sir.
All Should I go ahead and click my spells so that people know I have detect magic?
Sure.
And an Arcana check. All right. I'm guessing this is just normal.
Correct.
How?
Unfortunately. Yeah. You can't even discern what school of magic it is or anything. Unfortunately, you can't figure it out.
He would go ahead and separate that, putting the pendant around his neck. He'd go ahead and take that.
Mm-hmm. So you would just throw it over your own neck?
Yep, and
Okay.
he would actually only take 10 of the gold, and would probably grab. I'm assuming it's in a pouch, and toss it over to Rena.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Just a pouch full of gold, you were saying? Sorry,
Yep.
I was reading chat there.
It has 60 gold, so you get 60 gold from that pouch if you choose to take it, Rena.
Yeah, I'll take it.
To describe the pendant that he was wearing, because obviously it's something that you took, it was hanging from a silver chain, and it had what looked like a ruby, a rough cut. The ruby itself was of decent size, not so good clarity, but it was rough cut. So it's kind of like just like a hunk of like ruby that's stuck inside this silver pendant.
Okay.
Okay. Do you guys say or do anything else at that point?
Ophios would just at that point, especially after his rage spout, he would just kind of go over and make camp and get ready to rest.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So you go over and you just kind of like do you just think nobody's gonna find us out here? I don't even care about trying to hide the place or anything.
He
pass
would
out.
look around, but then he would probably just find a place where he felt secure and then pass out.
Okay.
So he would look around.
Okay. So you would roll me a survival check then, please, sir.
Just a survival?
Please.
All right. Oh, is it being delayed? I don't want to hit it again.
Yeah, I don't see a result yet. Give it a moment. Friday nights usually tend to be slow. Okay, hit it again just in case. There's one. Oh.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. I'm doing great today.
It's one of those things where your character, after the frustration of everything that took place, so on and so forth, you just like, fuck it, this is fine. You like look around, yeah, this is fine, whatever, fuck it. And then you just, this spot might be a bad spot, but you just honestly don't care at this point.
Yeah, he also would make sure and go to a spot to where he's, for the most part, hidden from view unless the other two approach him.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. You don't need to roll anything for that. All right, Rena, are you doing anything else? Or are you just allowing him to do his stuff and just letting time pass, just kind of like breathing or whatever?
Kind of, yeah. I'm kind of just letting him do his own thing and resting since I did take some damage.
Okay. Yondis, after like, I don't know, a minute, so I should say 2 or 3 minutes or so, eventually just kind of like regain consciousness again, like, oh, God.
So a short rest.
Not even a short rest, sorry. You guys will be taking a long rest in a minute anyways, but go ahead.
I'm not getting up. I'm surprised I've passed those death saves, honestly. I'm just gonna lay there. I'm gonna lay there and stare at the sky.
Alright. So you just kind of like lie there, stay on the side. If you guys aren't doing anything else, you're all just kind of keeping to yourselves, being quiet for the evening. We'll just allow the evening to fade. Eventually people find their own spots to rest. We pass out. Nobody even really sets up a watch. You don't really care, which is fine because when the 15 goblins wake you up throwing spears at you, you'll realize the DM's just joking. And
I knew he was.
and then so in the morning you guys wake up and it's honestly one of those things where you're all feeling significantly better. I don't think anybody even used any HD. I think Tyler was still missing one from the day before, so everybody's back up to full across the board. So everybody's actually doing quite well today, feeling significantly better than what you were the day beforehand. So you guys gotta like wake up, and whoever's going about cooking the food or just taking care of themselves or whatever the case may be, do you guys like immediately engage into any form of conversation, kind of like as the morning rolls on, or?
Ophios would walk over and say, he would probably, of the stuff on the ground, obviously he already took the pendant and threw the gold to Rena. But he might have He might have taken the dagger, if anything. But unless he thought it was like a significant dagger, he already has two.
Mm-hmm.
Unless it was better than his dagger, he would have left it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And Rena, it won't fit you right now, or I should say it would fit you awkwardly right now. But breastplate is definitely an upgrade from what you're currently wearing. You're currently wearing studded leather, but like you're strong enough to handle breastplate, and it's definitely an upgrade for your armor class.
Could I alter that myself, or is that something I've seen somewhere?
With you being a smith, not having all the materials and everything that you need around you from like swinging by a shop, what you can do is you can just make me a quick smithing check, just to, like alter the leathers and whatnot, just enough that it'll look like you're wearing your older brother's clothes, but it will function and not get in your way at all. So you're
and I also meant to say Ophios would have said, Rena, if you see anything you want, you can have it. And I guess if you want to give anything to Yondis, you can as well.
I'll just walk over and I'll take a look at the breastplate then. Okay, you said smithing. Sorry, I'm just trying to find it on my sheet.
Mm-hmm.
That's tool. Where would it be? Sorry.
It's on the bottom left-hand corner. Let me just make sure. Here it says Smith Tools, and it says Query for the attribute. For the attribute, you can roll Intelligence for that one, I think. Yeah, that's more of an Intelligence check.
Is it an Intelligence? Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm on normal again.
Yep.
Fingers
What
crossed.
the heck is Intelligence? Oh.
Once you click it, once you click the thing.
Up, yeah.
Oh, no. Oh, what a waste of a good roll. Yeah, you hit the underneath. There's a scroll down beneath that. Beneath your skills, you'll see something that says Smith's Tools.
I see that.
Oh.
And when you
what I
click,
clicked.
yeah, and then it'll query you for which stat, and you're going to choose Intelligence. Sorry. Hopefully you don't roll poorly.
Oh, I see. Okay, I understand now. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Ugh.
Oh, God.
No worries. That's my mistake.
So you work on it and you try to get it done, but the problem is, like, unfortunately, while the armor looks like it was made well, clearly the person wearing it did not maintain the leather straps well. Sure, they maintained the metal parts because it made it look good, but they did not maintain the leather, like the inside parts that actually hold it to you. So as you're trying to do these alterations, the leather just starts like ripping and tearing on you. It's like never been oiled. It's all cracked and weak, so it's just like you're like, I'll have to get some supplies from town, and then I can actually do something with this. But in the interim, you're just gonna have to throw that into your backpack or whatever, and try to carry it that way.
And I'll just toss it into my pack, and that's pretty much all I'll take. He tossed me the gold already.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else, unless, other than armor. And then he took the dagger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really need the weapons unless he's got any arrows on him.
I mean, you can find that on the bodies around and whatnot, so you can get arrows. That's not a big deal.
All right,
Neither
well,
of
I
these
think
weapons were magical, right?
Neither were magical, no. They're just well crafted. Mm-hmm. Awesome. And I imagine Messi gets nothing either. So the next morning, do you guys have any conversation immediately with one another, or is it kind of like a somber, like a quiet morning amongst each other? Any exchange between Yondis and Rena for what happened?
Ophios, before Yondis was around, would say, by the way, appreciates the punch last night.
What was that then? Just had to get it out of my
I mean, he did abandon you.
We're all working towards a common goal, so it won't go further than just a punch to the face.
That's nice of you.
Didn't hear it.
That's funny.
That's good, actually.
That's legitimately funny.
Keep you on your toes.
Oh, that's pretty funny. All right, so anyways, nope, didn't hear it. Good to go. Good to go there. So moving on. Anything else you guys are... so you guys engage in any more conversation? I don't know if you want to talk about what happened last night.
I mean, Ophios wouldn't have anything to talk about. I don't know if Yondis would have any questions, because obviously he had a purpose. Basically, Rena and Ophios just wanted to kill him.
Yeah, I think Rena. Well, I think I would be kind of heated, actually. A little bit frustrated. Just because, I don't know. I feel like we didn't make any progress towards the goal or whatever. So I would kind of be like in that kind of mood is what, so to speak. So maybe I would probably be the first one to say, so what now? Where do we go from here?
Well, my job's done. Just have to wait for another letter. Ugh. Probably need to get back to my room sometime soon. Pretty sure that's where they're gonna send it.
So that's it then?
For now. It was a good story, right?
So we heads back to towns? That doesn't seem purposeful.
I agree. I feel like we should come up with another plan.
Okay. You guys can come up with a plan, but I got a guild. It's probably gonna send me a letter soon, so if you guys got nothing to do, you could always help me out on the next one.
Well, okay, sorry, I'm gonna break for a second. We technically, I don't know. I guess I have, I know I have stuff I want to do, but where are we going next? I guess that's what I'm trying to figure out.
No, you're perfectly fine. Your characters have all been had purpose for what you wanted to do, so on and so forth. And then you came together for this one circumstance, and it's kind of like, so I got things I got to do. Where should we go? And it's almost like one of those. Do you want to continue trying to work together, or do you want to separate and go separate ways? Nothing has pulled you together beyond this point, other than, well, I know technically speaking, Tyler was still supposed to go and have a conversation with somebody. He just never told you good people as somebody.
Did you ever recap the spirit guy?
What do you mean by that?
Can you remind me what he said when he was disappearing? What his final words were?
I honestly don't remember now. Hold on. So he handed it to you, and more or less was just kind of like, sorry, I had to deliver it to you like this.
That's right. Okay. That's what it was. Oh, thanks, Steve. How nice.
Ophios suddenly recalls, I do need to return to Addersfield.
Yep.
Field.
Addersfield. I have consults.
Well, it would be a good idea to head back to town, because I want to see about getting some supplies to fix this breastplate that I took, so.
There you go. So you guys decide.
So it seems, Yandis, that we shall travels with you again.
Great, sweet. And then maybe I'll learn a little bit more about what the hell we just did.
And I'll walk by Yondis, just kind of quickly, kind of heading in the direction of town, and just say to him, and this time we all stick together. And I'll just walk off, too fast for him to respond.
Ouch. All right.
I'm just gonna rub the handprint on my face,
So you guys start heading back to town. As you knew beforehand, it was a bit of a trip to get out here. This is a bit of a trip to get back as well. You guys just got plodding along, making your way into town. As you kind of go into it, do me a favor. All of you roll me a perception check.
I was going to say Ophios wouldn't actually, he would stop outside of town.
Sure.
And would just speak and say, I'll meet up with you later.
Sure, yeah, okay, that's normal. That's a thing normal people do.
Okay, so as you guys go walking into town, it's all good, messy. Don't forget you're supposed to roll at disadvantage. Just kidding, you lost that.
I know I did.
So you guys go walking into town, and honestly, it's one of those things where the two of you probably don't have much to share. And so Messy's probably doing that whole, it's awkward walking next to her. She totally just punched me in the face because I totally left her in a burning tree when she helped me out. So you're kind of looking down in a way.
What does that really mean, Yeah.
Yeah. Budding love, right? So He's probably like a bit embarrassed and so like looking away and a bit distracted, and she's probably distracted occasionally, not anywhere near as often as he is because he's like an ass. So you guys don't notice it at first. It's not until you're like in town for a bit that you like again. It's a very small place. Then all of a sudden, Rena, you look up and you're like, oh shit, there's more of the military here. Immediately when you look up and look around and you finally notice them and they're like near you, you look and you see and there's like 3 of them within sight, like kind of like spread out amongst the buildings. But if there were 3, roll me an intelligence check. This is for 2 different things, so it's a flat intelligence check.
2 intelligence checks or just 1?
1 intelligence check. It's for 2 different things. And just so you guys know, there is, I won't say exactly how many, but there's at least 1 luck die in the pool of luck that you can use. Like I said, the API will be fixed in the near future. I already told Josh that we can fix it. So.
What does a luck die do?
Adds a D4 to a D20 roll.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I'm just hitting it. It's over on the far left, right? That's the one I'm hitting.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, it's the word intelligence.
So you go out and you look and you just see 3 of them, and that's just what you see. What do you say or do, Rena?
I'll kind of like break the silence with Giannis and just say, we should probably find a different way through town, or like go find a way around them.
Yeah,
I'll just point them out somehow.
Yeah, there's a very, very small town, so it's kind of like easily to get from point A to point B. Trying to avoid people would just be like a stealth or a deception check. Try to be super discreet, one of those 2. So my apologies, just like we should probably find another way there. And you like kind of like gesture towards one of them. This is when Yonders would kind of like look up, see 1, and then look about and see the same other 2 as well.
And I'll shrug and I'll be like, nah, that's probably alright. I'll just keep going.
Okay. So you just start walking forward and you're just going to go straight to like the tavern?
Well,
Yeah.
probably...
Or the inn, my apologies, so you can go to your room.
Yeah, probably the inn.
Okay. Do you just walk with him, Rena?
Yeah, I think I'll probably just stick with him.
Okay. Let me make a check real quick. For no reason.
Let me make a check.
For no reason. Don't worry about it.
Let me make a check, Daelric.
Shh. One of the guards goes, as you guys are walking by, you like, I don't know, maybe 20 paces left to get to the front door of the inn. One of the guards calls over and says, hey, you 2 over there.
Can I help you?
What's that sticking out of your bag?
Just want to remind you, Daelric.
Mm-hmm. What's that
That's
sticking out of your bag?
Business. None of your business.
Now, to be clear, he was referring to Rena's bit of, officer armor sticking out of her bag that she's carrying on her as she's walking by. So what's that sticking out of your bag? And you turn around and you're like, what? It's none of your business or whatever it is. And you immediately like step up and try to like present yourself very well. Make sure that the colors and insignias and everything that are on you are very well presented. Mind you, your clothes are dirty from the road. There's like smoke in there. You've been injured, so you got like blood stains and cuts on it. You do not look like a noble presentation. But nonetheless, you do present your clothes and everything well. Messi, do me a favor. You're trying to intimidate him. Roll that for me.
Intimidation.
Si, senor.
That's something I don't do very well. Take that.
And so you're like, what did you say? So what's it to you, or what did you say?
Oh,
It's none of your business.
That's
None of your business.
Yeah.
He goes, in fact, it is my business. That looks like the army, the armor of someone in the military. And he looks at her and says, you in the military?
I'm a smith, actually. Something that I'm looking to repair.
And I'm gonna
client.
butt in again. Now, what gives you the right to question my smith?
And now, like, because that kind of could make sense, he's like, oh. All right, if you're really a smith, where's your smith tools? Where's your shop?
And I'll gesture to the to the disgusting clothing I'm wearing, and I'll be like, "Look, I'm having a bit of a bad day. Perhaps maybe we could talk about this later, or I can get your name or your supervisor."
Still along lines of intimidation, and he just did
Yep.
not find you very intimidating. So, Rita, do you do anything or to answer the question? Or do you just let him talk?
I'll just let him talk.
Okay. He looks it over. He sees the insignia. He knows. You guys can clearly tell he's not convinced, and he says, "My apologies, my lord. I'll leave you be." But you guys can tell he's definitely not convinced.
I'll just turn around and I'll start walking off, and I'll be like, we gotta go while we have the chance.
Okay. And so you guys go walking into the inn. Now, when you go in there, do you immediately go up to one of your rooms, both your rooms? What do you do?
Is
Well, I
it
don't
busy?
have one.
Rena doesn't have a room.
Oh, that's right.
So I'm just gonna go to his.
Since that room looks suspiciously familiar. Boop, boop.
Yeah. I'll be like,
Is it busy?
The person
Is
staying
there anyone
there.
around?
Oh, that's so funny. It's another reason to punch him in the head. So, so when you guys go into the inn, yeah, there are people in there because there's like that bit of lounge area in the bottom that we talked about beforehand. But when you go into your room's empty. It's just the two of you. So,
Could you step out for one moment, please?
I mean, sure, but I didn't want to risk the guards coming back to see where we were going.
Well, I was gonna change.
I mean, I could turn around.
I saw Spider-Man. I know what that means.
Yeah.
Just don't peek. And then I'll
Where I won't.
I'll start
All of a
gathering
sudden,
up
a
my
snake
clothing.
appears at Rena's feet, saying, "There's not much to look at anyway."
Yeah, there really don't
Just-
don't get excited, chat.
Oh, I saw Spider-Man. I know what that means.
I know where it's going.
Is that funny that because that happened that way, it was cute, but if it happened role reversal, it'd be like, dude, that's fucking creepy.
That's so
It
weird.
was, I was like, why are you? Like, just that scene was a little, to me, distasteful.
Yeah. Either way. So, moving on. So she turns around and totally is like, I have no interest in looking. And
I swear.
probably starts taking the armor out of the pack so she can kind of like look it over and stuff like that. And then notices you in the reflection. And she's like, he really is sad and wiry, isn't he?
For some
my
reason,
gosh.
I have this large pot belly and a skinny body, so it's like a scarecrow that's been stuffed too much.
We don't even know what you look like. Like,
I've never described myself.
Are you going to take this
all-
moment
all
as
I
your,
have-
as your
You're gonna
character is
describe
struggling to take his pants off? Are you going to describe yourself for everyone? Because honestly, I still don't have a description.
No.
I mean, come on. I want to hear what your guy looks like, just not
No.
naked.
I mean, do I have to remind everybody what your token currently is? Because
I'm a parent.
this is his current token because he,
It's a great picture, by the way.
as opposed to
No, it's not
Rena's self-drawn token, she drew that herself.
Yeah.
And Messi's,
So
which I
we're
think came out of the Monster Manual. I believe it's the Monster Manual it came out of. You know?
That's not mine. You said
Alright.
messy. That's not me.
Sorry, I meant Tyler. But my apologies. Describe yourself.
No. I don't know. I haven't had time. It's been like 4 weeks.
You don't even know what you look like?
I got no idea what I look like.
Oh my fucking god. Oh my god. I thought it was just for like the joke, but you don't know what you look
oh, he
like?
like really
I
doesn't.
really don't have any idea.
What do you imagine him to look like?
He
Taylor?
looks like instead of a Perrin, he's like half goblin, half human. That's what he
Listen,
looks-
Messy, I understand you don't have time. I want you to pick a name in chat right now and let them describe what you look like, and that'll be
Who do I
canon.
trust? Who do I fucking trust in this chat?
Let's see.
Walnut is great. Walnut is fantastic.
Yeah,
They will-
Definitely not
Walnut's
taking
pretty
Walnut.
cool. Let's see. Raven is pretty cool too. Raven Mystery.
Unfunny one just said pick me.
Unfunny one. I
Steve
definitely
said
don't
trust no one.
Steve
Sounds like you should
said-
trust Steve.
Yeah.
Oh god. Yeah, I don't know.
How about we let your Discord decide, Daelric?
You want Discord as a group to decide?
Yeah,
What
yeah.
everybody gets one. You're gonna have one eye that's very lazy and the other one is very excited. You know what I mean? Like,
do it.
No. Pick one person, and we'll let them do it. Who do you trust?
I don't trust anyone in this chat.
Wow.
But if I had to pick,
Look. Unfunny one is a Floridian. He's a fellow Floridian.
Yeah, I don't trust you on funny ones. I definitely do. I'll go with maybe I'll go with Steve.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go with Steve.
And then after Steve's done, you can choose whether or not it's canonical.
Okay, that's great. I
Okay.
love that.
Okay,
Steve,
cool.
what do you think, buddy?
Awesome. All right, so
Has
Steve's
been chosen.
Steve's like, I don't want them. Put this shit on me. Steve's like, don't put this shit on me. Trump card. Trump card. That's what you guess what you look like. He's like, you got a mess of yellow hair. You're way too, out of shape. You.
All right, Raven, you get to pick my height. Everything else is up to Steve.
Mind you, real life, he's like 5'3". All right, let's get going. So
9. Come on, dude.
As long as he's shorter than Rena's character and my character, we're good.
If I get out of the chair, my head comes down to here.
All right, so let's Steve, your best bet is to put it in Regicide spoilers and then copy and paste over in here. All right, so anyways, let's keep going. You guys, he turns around, he gets changed. You looking at the armor. Now, Rena, as you finally get a moment to look at the armor, you roll me an investigation check real quick.
Okay.
Hey, he is a parent, but remember he's young, so ears aren't pronounced yet.
This is famine today.
Yeah, this is really rough so far. So looking over the armor, you can just see it's a nice suit of breastplate. Excuse me, belch. Actually, I'm so sorry. You're supposed to roll this with advantage. I'm not just trying to be a nice GM. It's actually super important because literally your characters past several years have been crafting this armor. It's literally your background. So
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, hang on. So thanks.
Yeah.
What was it? Investigation?
Correct.
Yep.
She rolls 2 double ones. She rolled a 1.
Oh my god, it
and
was
a 9.
close.
Oh my gosh!
It still wasn't good.
So looking over the armor, you can clearly tell that it's actually not bad. It's not very hard to find this because it's one of the things that you look for, so on and so forth. You can tell that the armor, it does have the look because of the way that it's curved, the sheen to it, so on and so forth, the quality of steel used to be an officer's armor. But it doesn't have to be an officer's armor. It just very commonly looks that way. It has that presentation. But most importantly, it has the insignia of the Peredhel military. Now, one of the most important sigils of the Peredhel army is oh god, I forgot the word for it. And if there's anybody that is from the Scandinavian countries, I think specifically Norwegian in chat, they might be able to correct the phrasing for me. But it's 3 triangles that are kind of like interwoven into each other. There's a specific phrase for it in Norse, like whatever.
The Legend of Zelda logo.
Not exactly. It's literally 3 triangles. So it's triangle 1 that is linked into by triangle 2 and also triangle 3. So inside where the 3 triangles meet. Exactly. So it almost makes almost like a knot. Anyways, it's a wicked cool design that it has, and you can see it very obviously presented on the chest in a way that you'd have to do some serious work to ting that away or to try to alter something else. But you can clearly tell that presented right there. So if you wanted to wear this armor, not only would you have to buy some stuff to mess with the straps, you're going to have to rework that insignia so other people aren't like, oh, excuse me, officer. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Could I also take like a piece of leather and kind of cover it up as like a temporary?
If you wore like a tunic over it, you could. You know what I mean? Like a tunic over it. It's like, pulling like a jersey over a hoodie sort of a thing. You know, you could do something like that if you wanted to.
Okay.
Um,
Got it for now.
Nope, not a problem. And then you guys can sit there and continue your conversation. Valknut, Valknut. So if you're looking for the symbol, mind you, there's many different designs of Valknut, but Valknut is the word, or Valknut. It means like slain warrior. It means like not. It has to do with Norse. Anyways. So while you guys are sitting there and doing this sort of a thing, I'm going to pan the camera for a moment back to Tyler. Tyler, you're going out there, you're looking for this guy, you're rolling me your survival check with advantage.
There we go.
And it should be easy to find them. You go down to where the tracks would be. Go down to how you'd find them before. You find nothing. You find no one.
This is a cause for concern. He would say in his head, so I don't have to say it in the accent.
But you already did.
I didn't do. I did. I spoke like him. He would try and find an adder to see if they can help find them.
That's part of the survival check, is utilizing them and whatnot to try to find. And unfortunately, you did not find them.
All right. Then Ophios, being distraught, would actually make his way to town at a bit of a faster pace than he would normally approach town.
Now, good, as always, that takes a while for you to go out there and do that. And they're in there for a fairly short period of time. So, do you guys do anything else after, like, so I imagine this, they could be like, you don't have to talk. You can literally just sit there in awkward silence and just wait for him to return for you guys to speak. Unless there was anything you wanted to exchange between the two of you. Looking over the armor, thinking, what can I do with this, so on and so forth.
So yeah, when I'm done changing, I would look around in the room to see if there were any more notes that were left for me. And I'm assuming I don't find anything.
You do not.
Okay, so yeah. So after a few minutes of looking, I'd probably be like, you want to just drink some more? I'll motion towards the door.
As a meta suggestion, come up with the story. Get your guys' story straight.
For what?
For the armor. The questioning that you already had endured.
Oh, yeah. So I'll just say, like, you know, what are we going to do if we run into those guards again? What are we going to say to them? Because I doubt they're going to buy our story of me being your smith. I could say that I'm a smith from, you know, either a neighboring or faraway town, just looking to get different kinds of supplies, seeing what I could find. That might go over a little bit better.
You could we could leave it here if you trust this place.
It should be fine. I kind of like, I'll take it out of my pack and like hand it to you, or maybe we could wrap it up in like, you know, one of those extra blankets or something and like.
All right, Daelric, can I do a stealth check to see how well I hide it?
Yeah, I mean, inside the room itself, you go right ahead, sir. And she can assist you, so she can give you advantage.
Easy, dude. It's gonna be a decently well hidden. I was about to say best, and then I saw the two.
So you are able to kind of like go over and try to find a good spot. Honestly, what it kind of comes down to, because there's really nowhere that inside this room that you can just, there's no loose floorboards to lift up or anything like that. It literally comes down to the fact that the bed itself is just an old mattress stuffed with like down and straw to like make the mattress work. Because it's a small sleepy town, they don't have like quality stuff here, but hey, it's at least a mattress. You're like, you know what we can do? We can actually just move some of that stuff to the side to make it seem a bit more full and literally hide the armor within like the center of the mattress. So even if somebody were to sit on the edge of the bed, they wouldn't notice, and it's not directly visible. You know what I mean? All right. So you do that, and you kind of hide that there, and then you guys are gonna go down to grab drinks.
Can we get some drinks?
Rena, did you want to go and buy the equipment that you need for the armor, or are you gonna wait to do that later on?
I think I'm gonna wait because all of the guards were out there, so.
Okay. So when you come back into the town, Tyler, you know, you probably would immediately go and check out the inn, check out your room, switch out supplies.
He would also be on high alert given the fact that he couldn't find his friend.
Mm-hmm. And you walking in, for you walking in here, it's actually less important than them when they walk in, because they look like people that just went through hell and got into a combat, so on and so forth. You just recast disguise self, and you look like somebody that, you have to look like the same person that they know, but you could have all clean, fresh clothes and everything.
Yep.
So it doesn't really matter as you come in. So you're not really worried. You walk around, you're like, oh, there's guards everywhere. Why don't you roll me a perception check, Tyler?
Advantage or no?
Normal.
All right. Awful.
No new information. You go check out the inn. They're not there. Knock on his door. They're not there. Swing by your room, drop off stuff, pick up stuff, whatever. And you eventually make your way to the tavern, figuring that's where they'll be. And it is, in fact, where they are. So when you go in and you go to speak with them, one of the things that you imagine, where are you guys sitting? Table or bar?
Maybe the bar.
Okay, and are you guys speaking at all? Doesn't have to be something RP'd, but light conversation, or just silently sitting next to each other?
Yeah, I'll do a quick little light RP thing.
Oh, sure, you can RP if you'd like. Go right ahead.
So I guess after maybe just some long drawn out silences after this, like in between small talk. And I'm sipping a draft. I just feel like, did you like hit me really hard in the face?
Well, she's just gonna be blunt. She's gonna say, "Yup," and just kind of look at him and.
You'll just kind of like shrug and raise an eyebrow and be like, okay, go back to sipping, and that'll be how we address that. And then we'll wait.
Okay.
So,
Please.
are they at the bar, or did they say?
Yep, they're now at the bar. So if you check around everything, you go through the bar area and you find them sitting there. Mm-hmm.
No, I meant, are they sitting at a bar at a table?
At the bar itself. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Ophios would walk up and address them. Rena, Yondis, we have some problems. Come. And gestures to the table in the corner he was sitting at when Rena had first perceived him, the dark corner.
Over there.
Yeah, I'll follow.
This person that we killed wasn't who expected, and my friends is nowhere to be found.
Friend that helped us
Yes.
with the distraction.
You think it's possible he lost?
Knows. He's just no trace. The ones that distracts wasn't him.
Oh, so this is somebody else?
But he's orchestrated distractions.
Understood. How concerning is this, do you think?
Considering guards in towns, concerns.
Yeah, I imagine the fire probably drove up some conversation when we were away.
Yes, and perhaps they discovered things, and perhaps true commanders is here's. Perhaps. I have no informations.
You think we killed the doppelganger?
You think we killed a doppelganger?
Perhaps it was a decoy. Perhaps my informations was wrongs. Nonetheless, things are amiss.
I agree. There's too many guards in town, and it doesn't seem like the safest place for us at the moment.
What informations have you gathered since arriving?
Well, not much, but as you can see, and I'll gesture to my clothing, cleaned up.
Yes, perhaps there is use for that. After all, it's kind of side-eyeing Yondis again.
We did have a close encounter with one of the guards. I didn't exactly buy our story of me being Yondis's slave. So it's safe to say that at least one of them is suspicious of us.
Yeah, we
Scott,
can't
you want
say
me to
what you
give you
want.
a rundown since you had to walk away?
Nope, I'm sure you guys are just talking about the past experience. I can pick it up.
Well, not really. Ophios basically mentioned that his guy's gone. There's concerns. He's questioning whether that was the real commander or not. Perhaps the real commander is actually in town, considering he wasn't who he thought he was with information.
Mm-hmm.
And he's speculating.
Yep.
And he's asking right now if there's any information they gathered other than the fact that they've been bothered. No.
Gotcha. Okay, no problem.
Well, there's a few options. I could try to gather some information secondhand around town. Could go back to the fort, see if maybe there's a track we can follow. But yeah, I think we should probably just lay low for a while and skip town as soon as possible. I think are our best options.
Yes.
I'll turn
but,
to look at. Oh, sorry.
Yes, but which directions would we go?
North?
Well, we can always go north. Yeah.
Did you want a different direction?
No, I was just merely curious. Have my purposes.
Uh-huh.
No directions at the moment.
Yeah, big,
But
big
perhaps
mystery,
figuring out things around towns, I can figure out what my ideals next steps would be. You guys, well, yous, looking at Rena, have been more than helpful, and I'd like to consider yous allies. Yondis.
No, don't worry. That was so sweet. Oh.
I would like. I think it's a good idea. If Yondis did try to do a little digging for some information,
Sure.
and I'll kind of look at Ophios and be like, like a knowing kind of look, like, I know, but this is useful for us, kind of.
Yeah, Ophios would just subtle nod with eye contact with you, and then look over at Yondis expectingly.
Yondis picks it all up. He's like, I'm the rogue. I'm the fucking king of subtlety, guys. I grew up in a court. Like, I get these looks.
I'm gonna. I'll stand up and I'll be like, scoot my chair out and makes a loud scooting noise. Maybe it disrupts the bar a little bit. I'll be like, don't worry, guys. Put my hand on their shoulders. I got this. And then I'll walk out.
Is this just their way of getting the dweeb out of the bar so they can have a good night of drinking without him fucking it up?
And then
Or like,
Ophios, after he left, would look at Rena and just go, I don't trust him.
Well, he's stuck with us for this long, barely.
Rena has the chest still, right?
The little chest, and it's the next day, so you guys can summon it if you want to.
Not in the middle of town, no way.
No, not here.
Yeah, probably in your room or something like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Rena has it?
Yep. Oh wait, Rena had given it to Yondis.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yondis has it. Oh, he's like, I got so much money.
Look at. He's gonna go open it.
I don't know. I feel like Rena, when she knocked him out, would have taken it back.
No,
No retcon.
Yeah, I don't know why she would take it back. Cause she punched him in the face because of aggravation, not because of.
Yeah, it's just pure rage there.
Yeah. All right, so Messy, going back to you, because the two of them are gonna have their small chat and probably talk about you behind your back, and then probably talk about other things, but then talk about you some more. When you go out there, how is it you approach getting in some information?
Well, being a rogue, Daelric, as you know, even though I am level 2, I do have actions that I can take when I need to.
Sure.
Most importantly, being the thieves can't. I can slip in little notes, see if maybe I can find the underground. Like whoever in this town's a little seedy, I could probably,
This town is so small.
Words.
God, this town is.
There's gonna be at least one guy who knows thieves can't. Come on.
This town is so small.
All of a sudden, Ophios comes out and says, "Yes, okay," and goes back to the tavern.
It's like a town of like 200 people. There's got to be a rogue mastermind here.
There's gotta be someone who's at least level 2 in rogue here.
Oh man.
And I'll probably walk around the markets when there's people around, and maybe try to buy some information there if possible.
Sure. So to get information, I suppose light and free first. Why don't you roll me a persuasion check, which is like no, my apologies, an investigation check.
Investigation.
Si, senor. Okay.
Not bad.
And don't forget, you
It's
do
better
have at
than the
least
rest of the
one
rolls.
die. You have at least one die in your luck pool, so you're welcome to add to that D4 set if you'd like.
He's trying to make us use it earlier than later. It's up to you, Yondis.
I'm holding on to that. 14's okay.
Okay. I can't tell you how many are in it until you spend one, and eventually the API will work again. So it's just I was mean to poor Josh and didn't test it long before I needed it. So, my fault.
Okay, it's okay, man.
Sorry, Josh. This one's on me. Thanks, man.
I mean, you only run like 6 D&D shows. Like, you think you would have figured it out by now, like some kind of template or something. But, that's fine. That's fine.
I do have an API.
I mean, you are a web
one's,
dev,
one,
right?
But one's Pathfinder and the other one's. Yeah. Okay, moving on. So let's you go walking around and trying to investigate, find some information. It's actually not very difficult for you to find out that there is no commander here. It's 6 other soldiers that are here that were sent to town and awaiting orders from the commander. And a little bit more digging into it leads you to find out that they're expecting their commander to join them later on tonight. Like they should be coming to town tonight.
Ah. That makes a lot of sense. I understand completely now what the situation is. But I want to keep digging.
Sure. How so? Looking to grease some wheels, if you will?
I might, ooh, this is risky. I might be a concerned citizen and, maybe talk to one of the guards about why there's so much beef security. Try to figure out if it's going to ruin my trade routes, or if I should be worried about my goods that I have stored, or whatever it may be that nobles have.
Is this the military peoples that you're referring to?
No, not the new guys. One of the old guys.
Gotcha. Okay, so you're gonna go up to them. You're gonna make a persuasion check, and we're gonna have you walk up and start talking to them.
Ah, great.
Good roll.
Okay, so with you go walking up to one of the older guards, and you just start asking them like, oh, what's going on, and so they just end up letting you know like, oh no, this happens from time to time. Occasionally they come through the area and they just start plotting, and then when there's scouts, within a few weeks or a few months there's a troop, and then shortly after that they bring in the force, and next thing you know we get new neighbors we're allowed to trade with. Happened not too long ago to us.
So you're saying when they're gone, trade routes are going to open back up? Maybe see some more goods?
They're going to be expanding the territory. So I suppose. Yeah.
That could be good. What's your opinion on this? Is this normally a good thing for the town, or?
Oh, my lord. This is a great thing.
All right.
For the Empire.
Well, thank you very much, man. I'm sure you got to get back to your work. What was your name again, sir?
NPCQ.
NPCQ? I like putting Daelric on the spot for names. It's so fun. Well, listen, N. Can I call you N?
Sure.
Pleasure talking to you.
And so, you kind of like go around, and is there any other information you're trying to procure from them?
I think I got what our group needed, so I'll just try to wrap it up quick.
Honestly, that whole bit only took you less than 2 hours. That was just because you were being obnoxiously thorough, which is an important thing for the details.
Well, then it's not obnoxious, is it, Daelric?
At one point in time, my apologies, never mind. You go back in there. They're still sitting at the table. My apologies. The two of you having a jolly old time.
Ophios would say to Rena is there anything you needs to do in towns?
Only thing I have to do is see about getting some materials to fix.
Shopping. I see a
Shopping.
purpose in that.
So you were say that again.
He said he sees a purpose in that. Like he'd be down to do that if you wanted to go do that right now.
Okay, well yeah, maybe we could just take care of that real quick. That way we don't have to forget and worry about it later.
Sure, go ahead.
So this is like minutes after I left?
Yeah. Like they have a couple of shots to giggle, and then they go into to take care of that other stuff.
So I probably would have seen them in the marketplace.
No. Every time they looked over and saw you, they like ducked behind the hail. Your sauce.
But like loud, like giggling.
And then she looks away, and she looks back, and all of a sudden Ophios looks really different. She's like, "Whoa, dude, who are you? Where'd my friend go?" And he's like, "Oh, sorry, stranger." And he walks off.
That's how he hides. He just changes form, and I'm like, who are you?
So it's strangely familiar accent. That was weird. So yeah, you guys go to the marketplace probably while he's talking to the outskirts, then probably head back for more drinks afterwards, or maybe to the inn afterwards. But why don't we see how successful you are? You go into the marketplace to find the materials you need for fixing the armor. Rena, it really does not require any like checks to find this. You just have to spend a couple of silver. For some materials, a couple of silver for other materials. Why don't we round it up to an obnoxious gold piece that you spend to get the materials you need to pull off the task?
Which, speaking of which, Rena, did you add the gold pieces to your player sheet that I gave you?
I wrote it down just as a note, but I can.
Yeah, I gave you 60 gold, FYI.
Okay. Why do I have so much?
Because you're rich.
I am rich.
Cool.
Do you want anything?
Ophios would look at shopping too. He's got his own gold if need be.
Okay. There's nothing else that really jumps out. So like I said, there's the traveling wagon place thingy that you looked at beforehand. That those potions that you wanted to steal because you're a terrible person, but Rena bought them because she's a nice one. And then you other than that, it's just basic stuff here like farm goods, food, basic supplies, which is what she's going to use to fix the armor. Do you guys go back to drinking, or do you going to head back to the inn? So you can start working on the armor or whatever.
Ophios would probably buy a potion since he had used that healing potion Rena had given him and just replenish that.
Sure. 50 gold is what I believe I charged you last time.
I thought that was for 2 though.
No. She paid 100.
Oh, all right. Then I'm down to 150.
Okay.
And I'll get my potion back.
Okay. So you get that item back. Good to go there. And my apologies. You guys heading back to the inn or the tavern?
Yeah, I'd probably want to get started on this right away because the sooner the better.
Okay. And you have your traveling supplies and stuff like that. Now, granted, you don't have an anvil unless you're going to ask somebody to use an anvil, which are kind of conspicuous. Even the use of like the armor would be conspicuous for the sake of trying to ting away that bit. But that's what you're trying to do. You go there and you start immediately try to switch out the straps, and all this stuff is pretty easy. You don't even have to make a check for it. How it is that you intend to wear this armor and hide the chest piece? Because mostly chest piece is breastplate.
I guess for now, I would try to, like we were saying earlier, try to like wear it under a tunic or something.
Sure.
But something like maybe baggy enough that it was like kind of hard to tell that I was like wearing something under it.
Oh, it's breastplate. You'll notice.
I mean,
It's
they'll
like
notice, but like maybe they won't be. It'll be like, oh, it's just like she's got armor or something.
Yeah. It's clearly armor, but it's just one of those things. You kind of looking it over. You're like, I don't know how discreet this is going to be, but hey, if I get a chance to kill another guard, it's not so bad, anyways. And so you can put that on. So Rena, what you're going to want to do, and for your leather armor, your studded leather. Oh, does anybody else need armor? I don't know if that's an upgrade for anybody in the party.
I have my chain shirt.
I have basic leather.
You can offer it to. Honestly, he's kind of frail, so he could probably fit inside your armor with space. You know what I mean? Like you probably got bigger muscles than him, so you have to like tighten it up a bit for him. But
Well, Yondis currently isn't there, as far as I know.
I'm just messing with you, Messy, of course. Yondis isn't there, but so more or less you take off the leather armor and you can put the other one on. The best way to handle this, Rena, is let me do it this way. On your character sheet, I'm going to do it for you. For your studded leather, we're going to unequip it, which should hurt your AC. Yep, your AC just dropped. Then I'm going to drag and drop breastplate onto you. Breast. Grab breastplate. How old are we?
6.
The other thing Ophios would want to do is actually go and look around about town. Like he said, he didn't trust Yondis, so he'd probably go and just kind of get a perspective and just kind of walk around and look at stuff like he had before.
Awesome. Nope, you're fine. And that's all good. So eventually, Messy, you will see Ophios walking around. It'll be pretty obvious. Do you go to, you guys are reconvening? No, I was asking where you're going. Where are we reconvening? Just to make things simple. Tavern? Inn?
The inn.
Okay. So you guys finally reconvene back in the inn. Messy, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was reading what Steve put in the
Oh,
chat.
did I not
Oh,
find
yes.
anything when I went looking around town?
No, nothing of interest whatsoever. My
Hold on,
apologies.
so we're-
You mean information?
Yeah, he was looking at to see what's going on with the troop movements, listening in on conversations, stuff like that.
Oh, so the same thing Messi was doing.
Pretty much, yeah.
Okay, then why don't you roll me some checks to see if you can find out on your own then? I thought you gave Messi the task, and now you got to do it yourself.
Yeah, he doesn't trust him.
All right. So, anyways,
So is it investigation?
then why even give him the task? Why don't you just say you stay here? I'll do it.
Because it's literally
Investigation.
I'm playing my character.
I'm just busting your balls, Tyler. Do you want to modify that?
Please don't.
No.
I'm just gonna spend my one daddy die right now to mess with you. You find out nothing.
You find this guy named NPCQ, and he's like,
So
"Somebody asked
you
me, go
made
talk to
me
Harry."
roll a 10.
So
I see how it is, Scott.
So you find nothing. You go around, you talk to people, whatever it is. Honestly, you find out that you don't know whether or not the commander's here, because as you ask a soldier purposely, the people that you speak to don't have a clue. And the soldiers themselves, again, unless you talk to them personally, they're not. It's not like they're just having open conversations about this stuff or whatever.
Ophios is curious what happened to his friend. He's trying to see if there's some giant snakeskin in the town.
No giant snake skins or anything like that. So you guys end up reconvening back in the inn.
Ophios is just sitting by the door,
And I imagine Rena's
messing with his magic, doing prestidigitation.
Rena's fastening the armor and almost done like fixing it up or whatever. And then you, Messi, can come walking in. You finally gathered your information the best that you can. You go walking into your room, mind you. You're the one with the key to it. Oh, hi.
Did I leave them a key, or did they just somehow get in?
Don't worry about it.
All right. Well, I see you guys already made yourselves comfortable, but please get more comfortable. I have some news.
Ophios
I'll,
wouldn't move.
I'd
Make sure
probably
the door-
just like sit somewhere.
Make sure the door is closed behind me. Lock it just in case. Okay, so long story short, I'm 99% sure they don't know the commander's dead yet. They've just been beefing up security for his arrival, but he hasn't arrived yet. So security's getting a little anxious. They assume he'll be arriving any day now. As we know, he's not. So I say we book it and don't look back. What do you guys think?
Nose.
Awesome. And do tell, why not, please?
I must seize if the ones we took out are not the ones they're waiting for. In
Ooh.
worst case scenarios, if he doesn't arrive, they leave and search.
Okay, so you're telling me you want to wait for the fire to start before we leave,
Yes.
just to watch
It's not
and
a
make
fire,
sure a fire starts.
if that's how you see it.
Hey, quick question: is that still burning? Then?
No, that is a metaphor.
Okay, I thought you like meant literally. I was like, is he literally saying like the fire? Like, is it just gonna be like this huge fire?
Not this time. Last time, yes. Not this time.
I'm like, man, we can escape this.
Haven, shh. I know what I'm doing. Shh.
Well, I mean, it might be a good idea to start heading north from here. It's just a matter of time before somebody comes looking.
Look, Wispy. Sorry, Lispy. Sorry, I had a lisp there. I don't buy it, man. I really don't. Why stay? The guy's dead. We killed him. We watched him die. He had the armor and everything. Why are you so adamant that there's a second one?
Because he wasn't who I thought.
Who was he supposed to be? It's the commander, right? That's what we were looking
to
for.
use.
And I'll turn to Ophios and kind of look at him and be like, I know that this isn't who we were looking for, but in terms of, you know, keeping our strength and maintaining, you know, ourselves for like what's to come, it might be best to kind of play it safe for now.
Daelric,
And then you hear a voice chime in that you guys hadn't noticed, anybody in the room with you, and he says, you know, he was the person you were looking for, just not what you expected him to be. And that voice just completely catches the three of you off guard because the three of you are alone in the room. But
Roll
then all of a
perception.
sudden you notice, all of a sudden you look and you notice that because the three of you, because Ophios was sitting by the door, Messi had walked in, he was kind of like over near the door too. Rena was like probably sitting on the bed where she was kind of like fiddling with the armor. And you guys are all kind of like looking at each other. Then you realize on the opposite end of the room, when you look over there, all of a sudden you see there's another Peredhel man standing there. You know what I mean? He's dressed in some, fairly simple clothes and stuff like that, but very well maintained simple clothes. He seems to be, not quite middle aged, but not quite, young either. Probably in like his 40s, which for a parent is pretty young. He's, put together very well. His dark hair, smooth skin, etc., etc.
Smooth skin.
And he said, as you guys kind of jump up and probably like get to arms or however you're about to react, and feel free to react how you'd like. He's going to poignantly look at Ophios and say, "Am I wrong?"
Ophios would cast Hex on him.
Sure.
And affect his charisma.
Sure.
I probably, as soon as I heard like the
And
first
also
word-
not respond to that and just glare at him, ready to strike.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we're all pulling out weapons just in case. Like just shing, like real fast, whatever we got.
Okay. Rita reaches over. She's got her anvil in one, her hammer in one hand and the axe in the other. So,
literally both axes.
both axes. There you go. Yeah, and you everybody's kind of jumps up and gets ready. It's like, whoa, calm down. I'm not here to fight anybody. That would be fruitless.
You understand the reaction, though, right?
You don't remember me because last time things were a little strange. I was solidifying the boundaries. I was trying to make listen, don't worry about it. This is what you have to know. We've met before in the woods last night.
And I'll just kind of I'll be like the chest.
Detect magic?
Sure.
I mean, we have a chest on us that's definitely magical.
The chest is magical, as I said before, and the amulet is magical.
I'm focusing on him to see if he's a magical projection or something like that.
He is definitely giving off auras of magic.
Wait, you're
Ophios just glares at him, expectingly waiting for him to speak again.
you're the guy?
We did meet last night. Or yesterday, or whatever time of day it was. I couldn't really see. I was a little occupied trying not to discorporeate while we were speaking.
That
So
what
this-
you meant by what you were saying?
What's
I'm
your
sorry.
purpose here with us?
Well, the three of you have a very uniquely similar motive. Well, two of you. The third one, similar enough motive. And, well, I was really hoping to meet with you. I've been kind of looking after you for a little while, and it seems like your motives and mine might align.
You know, a mite is a lot to risk magically appearing in my room.
Very well. He gestures towards Rena, who is no longer sitting on the bed with weapons in hand, and says, "How do you feel about Peredhel?"
If you've been watching us for long enough, you should know how I feel.
Which is why I feel as though we might align. How are you, Ophios?
What was the question again?
How do you feel about Peredhel?
I don't. What is Peredhel?
The country that you're
Our
currently in.
country.
But would it be funny if that was your response?
Ophios. That honestly.
He knows what country he was born in.
Okay. He would respond and says, I have things against problems, so to speak.
Not against the nation, just particular persons.
Perhaps.
Okay.
He
And
doesn't want to give anything away. It's
of course, and he looks to Messi, to Yondis, and says, "In your opinion?"
Well, you know, every land has its flaws, right? I'm not writing it off. I'm just saying.
And every capital has its treasure trove. Every treasure trove has its goods. And some of those goods might be the ones that people are looking for. Maybe one particular good in general, fenced.
are used referring to the gifts.
I'm not entirely sure what you mean by that.
The chests.
Oh, yes. Well, no, I'm not talking about that. But yeah, that was a gift. That's something that I want you to be able to utilize and take from. Listen, this chest is a little unique in how it works. Let me explain. He looks at all of you and realizes there's going to be no foundation of understanding what he's going to try to describe. And he's like, the chest exists not only here, but somewhere else. When it's there, it acts like a fishing net. And when it's here, you can enjoy the crop. The catch of the day.
Exactly is this net being thrown?
It's hard to describe to people without a certain education and magical hearts.
Ophios kind of looks at him.
I'll just be like, try.
Understandably.
Like, kind of menacingly.
It's kind of one of those, he tilts his head and kind of looks at him like, okay.
So, that aside, I know that you guys are looking for a little bit of revenge, redemption, or more, he says, looking at Ophios, understanding that Ophios is trying to be discreet. I would love to give you a little bit of information. Real information. Not chasing one's tail year after year, wasting time. And oh, by the way, perfect opportunity to retcon something that I said incorrectly on session 1. For Tyler, it was not years that passed after his prequel to this. It was months that passed from his prequel to this, not years.
That changes everything.
Yeah, it changes everything. No, it doesn't really change anything. But it was months that passed. It was like those crazy years. His character is still the same as he was, and blah blah. But anyways,
I'm rolling an insight on this guy.
sure, go right ahead.
Seems genuine.
Obviously, this guy is being very guarded in the way that he's speaking to you. There's no getting around that. But he doesn't seem like he's outright lying or anything like that. You can still feel sketched because he definitely is guarded with the way he speaks.
Yep.
And he appeared out of nowhere.
Yep.
So I'm going to give you information that's accurate. And I'd be more than happy to give you that information openly so that you can go and do your task. Now, understand, while I'm giving you the information that you can benefit from, perhaps along the way you can do things that we can all benefit from.
Ugh.
Elaborate.
Well, rather than elaborate, let's just cut to it. You're giving us a job and you're going to give us things for it. Is that what I'm getting here?
No. I'm giving you what you want and walking away. Keep the chest. Even if you tell me to, I don't know, what's a common phrase these days for telling somebody you don't want to work with them?
Crawls in the holes and dies.
There we go. Crawl in a hole and die. Keep the chest, tell me to crawl in a hole and die. Sounds great. Or, listen to what I have to say, explore it, and realize that you like what you find.
Ophios would look at Yondis and Rena to see expectantly what they would say. He seems interested.
So, this is all out of the goodness of your heart?
Yes.
No. No. What is it that you're getting out of this?
Again, our motives align.
Look, you showed up as a ghost in the woods.
Yeah, it was difficult.
You gave us a chest full of shit that's not even here. And you're telling me that you need us to do something for you. But why?
Well, and he holds his arms out, and you can see like a bit of flicker, almost like you're watching the holographic projection, kind of like starting to fade away and back in and get all wonky, and the colors kind of like spazzing out and stuff like that. For a moment,
Christ.
he's like, "Because I'm not here, I can't be here, but I delivered that chest to you. That chest is a very powerful bit of magic that can do things like, say, place itself in other places." But it also can be a focus of a projection. This projection. An illusion.
As I figured. The least we can do, is glaring at Yondis, is here's you out.
He's not even here.
Not only am I not even here, you're not even speaking directly to me. This is actually a permanent incantation of Greater Magic Mouth, where it kind of like takes my persona and links it to the box. Anyways, the information I'm giving to you is accurate as I knew it when the spell was cast.
Ophios is looking at Rena. He's already spoken out. Giannis has spoken. Rena's been silent.
Yeah, I'd like to know what he has to say. Just like we trusted each other, we should maybe trust him. Since
All right.
all of our motives align.
We'll hear you around. Go ahead.
You happen to be in Addersfield. North of Addersfield is a town by the name of Talion. Some of you may have heard of it, he says, looking playfully at Rena. Others probably not. It's a small town, not really worth noting to most people. But near Addersfield is a small little... It used to be a mining camp, and then it became a work camp. And work camp is, of course, referring specifically to what it is that the Perrin do in Inclame when you choose slavery over warrior, over being a soldier. It's been named Adlama. Now, Adlama is a very well-greased engine. They do an incredible job of making sure that the mining of the ore, the smelting of the ore, and the production of the weapons and armor run through it very smoothly. Because there's a brilliant mind behind who it is that runs Adlama. Now, whether or not Adlama itself stays and fully functioning, and whether or not the slaves or whatever stay there and continue to serve their masters, that's not a concern of mine. It's not a concern of everybody in this room. However, maybe it matters to others. But what I can tell you is the minds that runs Adlama is one that some of you might have some interest in.
I don't need to I already know what he's talking about. I don't need to roll or anything, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Ophios is just he's sitting there thinking to himself, kind of looking down and around.
I'll be like, so that's your plan then for us, huh?
It is.
Release the slaves impacts this commands.
No, someone in particular.
I'm telling you that the interest that some of us share happens to be the leader of the camp. What you choose to do with everything else there, I can't control you. I'm just giving you information to do with as you please. I think this is everything that you were looking for. Hopefully, you look into it and you learn that I come with goodwill. Truly, come with goodwill. Until we meet again. And then
Wait.
he turns to step out of he turns like he's going to take a step away, but as he turns a step away, he fades from existence as he steps.
Fuck.
Set my weapons down and kind of slump down on the bed. Frustrated.
Ophios would sheath his weapon and reconfirm and say, I still wants to wait at least once nights. I have something to discover. Or perhaps we camps outside of town as I checks on things.
should stay. I've changed my mind.
All right, but I need to do something too. That's it.
That was it.
Yeah, with that, Ophios would walk out to go do his thing.
And I will find a piece of paper and a quill.
Okay, so you stay in here to find a piece of paper and quill. Ophios, you walk out into town to do your thing, correct?
He's heading towards the scout camp again.
Awesome. Problem is, after you walk out of the inn, all of a sudden you realize people are just fucking staring at you. Like, what the hell is that? They're all freaked out. And you have no idea what they're staring at.
What, is my disguised self gone?
You just now realize that conversation, everything that happened there, the guy seems to know things that he shouldn't. You totally lost track of time, and you forgot to recast it over the course of the hour that you needed to. You are not in a disguise at the moment. You are standing in town. It is a small town, but there's definitely at least a half dozen people that are staring at you right now.
He would immediately go to hide before he disguised himself. Just hood up, take off.
Daelric.
You've seen
Is
this?
this Oh, it's a curse. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. I was gonna. Do you want to tell us the name of the person who did it so I can beat him up?
No. So you immediately try to like duck and hide. Roll me a stealth check as you try to like get the fluff out of there. Oh, you actually do an incredible good job. You look around, you realize again there's at least a half dozen people that see you like shit. Throw your hood on and you're just like deuces, and you get the fuck out of there and you completely like book it around the corner, run out, and you've been in and out of this town enough times now that you just go and you get the quickest path out of you, duck, run, go around the corner, and then as soon as you like step behind a building, you like look around, nobody's there, you can just like and then kind of like throw it on. This time, usually you just kind of disguise yourself from like the shoulders up. This time, imagine you do like a full disguise. Like, I am not the same clothing.
Yep. Completely different.
Okay. When you come back around, were you still going to be around the town, or were you immediately heading out?
Immediately heading out.
Okay. The two of you, Messi, you're staying in your room. Rena, you staying there to continue working on the armor more or less in silence? Do you guys chat at all? What?
I'm writing a fucking letter, bro.
Okay. Rena?
He's writing his letter. I'll just stay quiet then.
And you're going to finish working on your armor to get that done so you can wear it. And Tyler, what you're going off to do, we'll find out when we come back from this quick little break.
And seed.
We'll see you guys after the break.
Be right back.